All right, man. So we're back at it again. It's good to be back, by the way. Sorry I ended up missing last go with you guys.
Oh yeah. Your little
water pump went out on the truck. You know, I love my truck. I'm never getting rid of that truck. That is my
you
truck.
named her
Elvira.
Yeah,
she's black. She's
Queen
bodacious.
of the dark.
Yeah. She's bodacious, and she got a nice growler. So, but yeah, water pump went out on Elvira, and had to take her in. So interesting story. I get it back, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to get my truck all detailed out. I just got it fixed, so I want to detail it out.
well, weren't you on your way here when it all went sideways?
It did. So it started out,
Yeah.
well, the water pump went out the night before.
Oh, okay.
And then I tried to get in the Mustang and come here in the Mustang, and the
so that's
Mustang
when-
didn't start on me.
So
That's how that
does
went
the
down.
Mustang have a name?
You know, it's son of a bitch. Right now is the name of that thing. That's what I was calling it on last Thursday.
Yeah.
So anyway, water pump goes out on Elvira. I take it in, warranty it out. So it was good. They did it.
You were like within what, a mile or two of expiring?
Yeah, I was 7 miles away from the warranty being out on my
Wow.
truck. 7 whole miles.
Wow.
So I took it in, and the guy's like, we're going to honor this, but you realize...
Of course
I'm
you
like,
are, because that's how fucking math works.
right, exactly. They were nice about it, and they did everything. The other cool thing was they updated all my software and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they fixed all the recall items while it was in there.
Oh, okay.
So that was good. I got all that crap out of the way.
Right.
So I get the truck back, and it's dirty. I'm thinking, I'm going to wash it, get it all cleaned up. So I take it to my wash, detail my truck out, get it all just nice in the way I like it. A minute I'm sporting around. I'm like, oh, this feels good. There's nothing better than being in your clean truck, and it's running right, and you're like, yeah.
So you and I both have black pickup trucks.
We do.
And so it's one of those things that when they are clean,
Yeah.
they're clean for a very brief
Short
moment.
time, but man, they look good.
They
when
look
they're
really
clean.
good coming off the wash. So yeah.
Exactly. So I'm sitting at the light. I pull up. I'm in my neighborhood. I'm sitting at the light, getting ready to pull into my hood, and my truck lurches forward, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
Settle down, baby.
Yeah.
Settle
I'm like,
down.
hey, I ain't mashing the gas. So I look back in my mirror.
Little eagerness going on.
Exactly. So I look back in my mirror, and there's the roof of a car, and I'm thinking, oh, man. So I'm not pissed off or anything. I'm getting out. I'm thinking, whatever they did, she bumped me. This is obviously this woman.
It's not on the same road we got hit before on.
No,
is
it was a different one. This was
Gotcha.
on Woodland. I was on Woodlands Parkway. This
Okay.
time. So I get out of the truck, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not mad. I get out of the truck, and I'm thinking, all right, whatever she did, I can probably fix it home with some paint and do it myself. So I'm not pissed. So I look over in the car, and the woman won't get out. She won't roll the window down. She's just not doing anything. She won't even back up. And I'm looking, and I'm standing there, stood there for a few seconds, and I'm like, hey, you think you could back up? Never looks up from her phone. She's on her phone this whole time, texting away. And I'm like, okay. Now I'm starting to get a little pissed. The little road rage is starting to come out. My hands are starting to shake, and I'm starting to get mad. I'm thinking, all right, before I lose my shit and do something that we both regret, I'm going to get back in the truck. So I get back in the truck. I pull forward. And she never looks up this whole time. She's just texting away like an idiot. So I take off. The light turns green. I'm thinking, let me get away from her before she hits me again. So I get up to the next light.
Run away. Run away.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't running away. I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is going to go bad for her if I get pissed off.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to do for her car, to her car. So I pull up at the next light, and I've had 30 seconds to think now, right? So now I'm really pissed. How can somebody be so freaking rude? I mean, how can you be so rude that you bump somebody that you can't even crack the door and say, sorry?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's got me so pissed off and shaken at this
Right.
point. So we get to the light, and I roll the window down, and she's right there next to me. She won't look up. She's on her phone at the light. Now I'm thinking, this dumbass is going to kill somebody.
Now, is she in the car by herself?
She's got her husband in the car
Oh,
with
so
her,
there is
or
somebody in
a
there.
significant other. There's a guy. I'm assuming that's her husband, and he's hiding because I've got the window down now. Right, I'm ready to talk. I've thought
He's
of some
hiding.
words.
How is he hiding?
She's like 350 pounds, so
Ooh.
he's like half this weight, and he's ducking. I can see him shifting in the car, and he's avoiding my gaze
What
because
kind of car is it?
It's like a little red Hyundai Sonata, something
Gotcha.
like a 20-year-old Hyundai Sonata.
Okay.
So I've got the window down. I'm like, hey, You're sorry, aren't you? Aren't you sorry? And I mean, I'm losing
I'm
my
thinking the Harry
shit.
Carey
Yeah.
right now.
More or less, that's what it turned into.
Hey!
I'm going to cut your head off and eat you with a nice, cold, coasty Budweiser, you know? But no.
And a slice of moon cheese.
Exactly. So I lose my shit with this one in a fit of road rage. It was
my
awful.
God.
Yeah, It was awful.
Yeah.
I road raged out. I felt bad after I did. Not for her. This is the fact that I wasn't able to compose myself. I felt
Right.
bad for me.
Right.
I felt bad
Luckily,
for
there was
me.
no damage to the truck.
I'm glad my other personality stepped in to console me.
Exactly. Exactly. The medication kicked in and everybody was fine. So, just another day in the life of Todd.
Oh my
you know?
God.
It's crazy.
So it sounds like you would have fit right in
With that crowd.
with the crowd at the Go Topless 4x4 beach
That's right.
patch this
That's
weekend.
right. It would have been nice. I would have been right in the mix of everybody
Oh.
that has the same disease that I do, apparently.
Well, it's funny because those road rage was not an issue down there. It was total pandemonium.
Yeah.
They had 400 911 calls
Right.
during that event. They had over 100 arrests, 18 major accidents, which blocked 2 major roads for hours.
A death.
And then somebody died.
Yeah. Fell out the back of a truck.
Back of a truck.
Big fucking shocker.
Yeah, you know.
Going for the beach and being surprised that you saw a bunch of intoxicated people show up to the beach.
Well, it's funny because the roots of this program, it's not a nationally sanctioned event. It's
Right.
one of those events where local 4x4 clubs would get together with their families and friends and go to the beach and have a good time.
Yeah.
Well, what ends up happening is over the last few years, this thing has
High
evolved
tide or some
into.
kind of shit?
Well, they had high tide during the event, but yeah, they weren't really looking at a lot of stuff when they did this.
Right.
They just started getting random groups of people, and the way that beach is not regulated except by the sheriff's department.
Right.
They just start stacking up along that beach, and Crystal Beach can get kind of dicey,
yeah.
man. It can get kind of dangerous with not just the conditions but the people. But what they were experiencing was high tide, and so high tide was pushing all these people into the dunes, which are regulated.
Yeah. That's federal lands, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
you can't. And so a lot of people, when you look at the arrests, a lot of the arrests were for trespassing,
Right.
and a lot of the arrests were for not wearing a seatbelt.
Drunk. I think.
Well, there was a lot of
majority
drunk in there.
Yeah.
But to make that 100 number a little more realistic, they threw in all of them.
Yeah.
So they had, I bet you, at least 1/4 of those people were arrested for not having seatbelt on, and I guarantee it's because they were talking shit
Yeah.
about that. So it's
Reference back to alcohol.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So what was normally supposed to be a fun time for a lot of people turned into like the weekend from hell, and so it got real bad.
So I've seen some video footage. There was a fight that somebody videoed from
Yeah.
a cell phone, and dude, it was a total melee. I mean, I wouldn't want to have been in that fight. It was 3 dudes on one dude, and it
Yeah.
was
Well, you get a bunch.
it was brutal.
Yeah, you get a bunch of drunks
Yeah,
down there,
and that's what it boiled down to. I think you start out, people's definitions of fun actually change. You know, fun to a family is going down and enjoying yourself, being in the sun, hanging out with your family.
Like a West Beach kind of.
yeah. What you
experience.
what you do basically is you go there and everybody would cruise up and down the
Right.
beach, and they would stop. They would pull over and stop and visit.
Talk cars,
And
whatever.
so what ended up happening there, because the tide was pushing everybody into narrower lanes, that's where the problem happened.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys started, you talking to me, and get out of his
Well, yeah,
truck.
the
I'm
Josie-
actually kind of
Yeah.
surprised that there wasn't a plan in place that, hey, as real estate becomes a little bit more and more restrictive, you start basically either telling people to move their
Key word
shit.
there is plan. Apparently, none of
But
that was
it was
done.
a very loosely organized.
Yeah.
You got to
Right.
remember, there's no body sanctioning this thing. At least I didn't see anybody.
No.
It was like the Go Topless
No,
organizer.
what I meant was if you have law enforcement there, the law enforcement says
Right.
So when
hey,
you have,
you're
yeah,
outta
so
here.
that's where it starts happening. This is where it starts happening, is when they start getting involved. So if you have 1,000 people on the beach and you only have 4,
Yeah,
Sheriff
guys to
deputies
run
down
the
there.
show. That's a rough man. I wouldn't want to be those 4 guys.
I wouldn't want to be the cops. Well, mine would involve a helicopter and
A hose.
yeah, or a fully automatic weapon. on a
yeah,
helicopter.
like I know during the best example I can use would be like Lone Star Rally.
right.
So
That's
I have-
turning into a shit show too. By the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
So the Lone
well, that's
Star-
what they compared that with,
Yeah.
and they didn't have the enforcement in place.
Right.
So
handle
with the
it.
Lone Star Rally, because of that deal, several officers from all the surrounding agencies, they actually go down there and work. You know, they pick up overtime down there by working this, working these.
And I'm
these
sure
events.
there was some semblance of that somewhere in there. You just didn't see it in any of the articles or read about it. But it's funny because
a lot of it, the crowd changed too. I think from what showed up down there. I think you had the Jersey Shore kind of show up this time,
and that's the worst. I can't stand those fucking guys.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I saw.
That's why
I saw it. Was what made me think of.
That's why I don't go do shit like that.
Right?
Because you get the old tattooed, roided up moron that's got a few beers in him.
Hey Joey, come here, look at this guy's Jeep. Fuck this guy.
And he wants to jump out and talk shit, and it gets just ridiculously stupid. Well, anyway, it's driven the community to. So it used to be Crystal Beach was one of those lawless areas for a long time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Until Ike wiped it off the map. And now that it's so expensive to rebuild down there, you've got extremely high dollar real estate now on those peninsulas, with a lot of code enforcement. So people are wanting to protect their investments on that front of property. So there's a petition going around that they're canceling any event, anything resembles that. Because if you remember, they had a Juneteenth thing in Galveston.
Oh yeah, that got out of hand.
That got out of hand, violent as well. And it's not the event; it's the people that show up to the event,
right?
And it's all the alcohol involved in these things, and it turns into people that can't conduct themselves in a decent manner, ruin it for everybody.
People will always show up and ruin fun. You can almost count on it.
And it's sad because in a state where you're allowed to conceal carry,
a
lot of those events they make it a point to make you walk through metal detectors so you can't carry. That's why I don't go to those events, because I want to be responsible for my own safety. I'm not, no public service here, but when I go into an event and I see 3 or 4 guys jumping out and jumping on somebody, I want to be able to.
I'm not taking that kind of beating, man. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. So So anyway, there's a petition going around to cancel that event. I kind of hope they do.
Yeah, it's probably. Here's some factors that'll factor into that. Galveston will look at it and say, how much money do we make off this event? Because when they look at Rot, look at Rot. That thing is a shit show. But
no, Rot's one thing. Lone Star is completely something different. You take Rot away from Austin, that's a big fucking deal.
Okay, well, same kind of premise though. But where I was going with that is, do they make money off it? They make a ton of money off of Rot, and they make
hotels, all that shit.
Exactly. So these biker rallies, when they show up. The people that own that property down there are also bringing money in from those. So the question's going to come up before City Council down there, behind closed doors, is how much money do we make off of these people coming in? Now, and what they might do is organize it at that point, and this would be the right way to handle it. Is come in and say, all right, we've appointed an organizer. This is how it's going to go. This is what you can bring. This is who's going to be there. And if you can do it that way, you could potentially save the event.
So a company I worked for many, many, many years ago used to sponsor Padre Island beach events.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was a music fest, and it was like all kinds of activities. Okay. And it was pretty cool for the first year. Mm-hmm. And then it started turning into the whole spring break bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what it was. It was a spring break program. And so all the hotels and businesses that were our supporters start pulling out.
Yeah. Because
of the theft. Inside the destruction of their property, their hotel rooms. So at some point in time, the money they pull in isn't worth it.
There's an HBO show that I watched called Spring Broke, and it's about. Have you ever watched that?
It was
an interesting,
great documentary.
It really was, and it covers exactly what we're talking about. How it went down in Florida on Panama Beach.
Yeah,
and
it was
all
MTV.
That.
Panama
it was
City.
MTV. It went from the 50s, but it took it all the way from the 50s when it was just kids from college showing up, all the way into the MTV crowd, and how it just. People couldn't even live there.
Yeah, because I was down there in Panama City Beach back when Girls Gone Wild was fucking filming next door.
Right.
I remember that shit.
Oh, yeah. and it's funny because any event, state fairs, carnivals, festivals, you get these roving gangs of shitbags that run around there and make it really difficult for families to hang out with their family and have a good time there. Okay, I'm more of the halcyon age of going out and having a good time, enjoying a carnival and a fair without having to listen to your drunk fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Going off on the corner. If you want to get drunk and you want to pull that bullshit,
go to a bar.
Go to a bar, because that's what bars are for.
Exactly.
But when you go out to a public venue like that, it's not fun. It's not funny. I'm not going to put up with that shit because I'm not going to patronize it. I'm not spending my money there.
Right.
Because I don't have to fight with a bunch of shitheads. I mean, I can remember going to the state fair in Southeast Texas,
Right.
and you always had some shit, especially when you're dating a pretty lady.
Yeah.
Some asshole just starts talking shit. Now, I'm grown up enough to know that that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But when they don't fucking stop and they keep following you and keep... You guys know me well enough. Once I warn you a couple times...
It's just going to happen.
It's going to happen. I do my best to get away. I give you the warnings. You're the one that brought this on, not me, you know, and it doesn't go well.
Ken, you're making me feel a lot better about my situation in Elvira at the light now.
Well, no, not really, because I probably would have drove off the first. I wouldn't have got out, because I know I would have went off on them.
Yeah.
So I would have just like took 10 deep breaths and just said, "Fuck, I'm gonna just no damage, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
But or I'd have took pictures and shit. And
Should have said what I should have done was turn it into the cops. But
yeah, and so, but anyway, so you get these things that go on. And it's not good for society. I just think it's stupid.